Government step up measures to improve over 6 million livestock to boost economy. Gender authorities trained over 80 sign language interpreters to empower hearing impaired. And South Sudan and Tanzania deepen custom ties to improve regional trade. A very good evening and welcome to SSBC English News, coming to life in the national capital, Juba, with me, Abraham Ken. We thank you all for joining us. The government continues to step up stronger measures aimed at improving the 6 million livestock to boost the national economy through exports. This follows an inspection visit to the National Livestock Facility by the Vice President for Economic Cluster, Dr. James Waniga, who pledges government's commitment to addressing the prevailing challenges within the sector.
Visit Minister of Livestock and Fisheries to see what did we do and what are the challenges we are facing. And in fact, he has noted by himself, he wanted to say, I have to see by my eyes. He has come to see the position or the situation in which the ministry is. And we are really very thankful. We had a very brief meeting with him, with the staff. And we said he would not promise, but he will try to support the ministry as soon as all we present to the cluster and even to the Council of Ministers. Because the Minister of Livestock is one of the important ministries which have generated revenue to the country, and also livestock. Around 70% of our people are living on a livestock, and we have approximately 6 million livestock in the country. We need to be looked after, and we also think if we commercialize it, then we'll go ahead with the boosting of our.
In other news, mining authorities say they have developed stronger mechanisms to revamp the mining sector as part of efforts to boost the struggling economy and create job opportunities for the youth. This comes during a meeting between the Vice President for Economic Cluster, Dr. James Waniga, and the Minister of Mining, Lasuba Ludoro Wango, which focused on reforms in the investment and mining sector, key pillars of national revenue generation and economic development. Minister Ludoro Wango reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to improving the mining sector through transparency, accountability, and inclusive regional economic development.
Discuss areas of significant importance, which include reforms, investment, and institutional strengthening. I also exchanged views with His Excellency the Vice President on how the mining sector can be better positioned to drive the economic improvement in the Republic, focusing on revenue generation, as well as creation of jobs to our youth and women, as well as ensuring that we have a sustainable economic growth. I also reaffirmed my commitment to His Excellency Vice President to align the Ministry of Mining's work with the broader economic agenda of the government, including transparency and reasonable resource development. I also welcome the guidance and the support of the Vice President in advancing this objective. I look forward to continue supporting and collaborating with the Vice President on advancing the mineral resource development in the Republic of South Sudan to benefit.
The Vice President for Gender, Youth and Humanitarian Cluster, Rebecca Nyanding Demabior, has reviewed progress on women's empowerment projects as South Sudan blind football team clinches historic continental championship, paving the way to the 2028 Paralympics, SSBC's Adiangane reports.
Vice President Nyandeng consults with ministries in gender and youth cluster and partners on progress in women's empowerment projects under the South Sudan Women's Social and Economic Empowerment Project. The discussion centered on infrastructure development, women's empowerment initiatives, and enhancing interagency coordination. The Minister of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, Nunu Roda, underlines the goal of the project in uplifting women, girls, and vulnerable populations across South Sudan.
I visited Wow, Western Bargazal, and we saw the project that is taking place there, and I had to bring the report to her with the World Bank and some partners so that we can sit again and look into the project, how women, men, children, and girls can benefit from this project. We are going to look forward to see how the project can reach our vulnerable people in the state and help them.
The World Bank country manager, Charles Endelan, calls for accelerated implementation to achieve tangible outcomes.
Today I had the honor and pleasure of meeting Her Excellency Vice President to discuss the implementation of a project that the World Bank finances and the government of South Sudan implements to be supporting the social and economic empowerment of women in South Sudan. We went over several issues that the project is dealing with, talked about the need to be speeding up implementation because we, from the World Bank side and certainly from the government side and certainly personally on the part of Her Excellency the Vice President, we need to see this project deliver. We need to see results, and we really want to see results.
United Nations Office for Project Service, Country Manager Petronella hails the Vice President for her support and affirms ongoing collaboration to complete the project.
We are pleased as UNOPS to have signed an output agreement for the construction of the Ministry of Gender and Child Welfare here in South Sudan, in Juba, and also including the construction of the Safe House that is going to be in Juba, and 2 women's economic empowerment centers that will be in Torit and Wow. As UNOPS, we are committed to delivering, and we are very excited that we're going to be breaking the ground.
In related news, the Minister of Youth and Sports, Mary Nawai, and representatives from the National Football Team for the Blind present the Division 2 Continental Championship Trophy to Vice President. This victory takes South Sudan to Division 1 and sets the nation on a path towards the 2028 Paralympic Games. Minister Nawai encourages parents to bring disabled children to the ministry to engage in similar sporting opportunities.
This is the team of blind footballers that won the trophy and brought it to South Sudan. I would like to thank you very much and appreciate and congratulate you for this effort, because blind footballers, they played with the Uganda and the Zimbabwe and they won a trophy. We have handed the trophy to Her Excellency the Vice President, and also we have handed in the certificate of the Paralympic Committee. South Sudan has been admitted to the International Paralympic Committee, which is a great thing for us as South Sudanese, and I would like to take this opportunity to say the disability is not inability.
The Empowerment Project demonstrates a strategic focus on uplifting marginalized groups, while the victory of the football team for the blind highlights the nation's growing prominence in adoptive sports. Reporting for SSBC News at Yangane, Juba.
Reverting your attention to parliamentary activities, the acting Speaker of the Council of States, Mary Ayan-Majoki, engages in extensive discussion with senior political affairs officer at the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, on strengthening cooperation between the organization and the Council of States. Richard Owanj, the chairperson of the Committee on Decentralized Governance and States Affairs Committee, and senior political affairs officer at the UNDP have jointly addressed the media on the outcome of the meeting.
Today, these meetings, they assure us that they will continue supporting the councils, and then there is a lot of issues that will be deliberated among the council and the UNUMIS, as has been said by our colleague and the head of mission. And in fact, in this meeting, we benefit a lot of issues that we also appreciate them so much for all the activities that they've been doing. So we will continue working together, and we will continue to cooperate between the Council of State and the UNUMIS.
We discussed the plans for the upcoming activities of the Council of States, and we examined possible areas of cooperation between UNMIS and the Council of States. The Council of States is a long-standing partner to UNMIS. We've had excellent collaboration with them over the past years, and we look forward.
The SPLM Secretary General Dr. Paul Kodits had called on the SPLM National Youth League under Pokbol Par to tighten their belts and mobilize masses ahead of the December general elections. Dr. Kodit made the call during a reception ceremony of the newly appointed chairperson of the party's youth league.
I want to tell you, Youth League is a revolutionary organization. Youth League is not a petty organization, but a hizar, but a comb, but a jerry ben makatib, but a swata, worship individual. No, Youth League is for this country and for the SPLM. So worldwide and liberation movement, Youth League is a factory of cadres, of revolutionaries. It's the radical body of the whole movement that have got extreme ideas that look beyond the current situation. So SPLM Youth League is the body that should modernize the SPLM. So what is SPLM program to restore peace in this country? What is SPLM program to address economic hardship in this country?
Let us dialogue. And I'm going to build from where my brother stopped, Comrade Abosha Ale. And I'm in the Karabahaja Wamolo. Man, the team bitaja Maebara, team bitaya data kun. Hajana dera minukum, Kalena Limu Yeden Bitana, Shanawadi, Easy Bitana Legidam. We have to embrace ourselves. We must unite our rank and file at the members of one political party. We have that use league.
I want to congratulate Comrade Pok officially for winning the trust of the chairman. I want to thank Comrade Chairman Salva Kiir for the adequate time he has given me to serve the Youth League. The Youth League members now are well informed. They are well informed. This is because we have given them enough training. And I wish you continue with that training, because this is the only way we can move the party.
The Minister of Cabinet Affairs, Dr. Martin Elialomro, and the British Ambassador David Ashley have discussed bolstering collective efforts towards promoting peace and stability in the country. The diplomat stresses the importance of political dialogue among parties in ending political frictions to ensure a timely conduct of a general election this year.
2006 can be a year of peace and progress, as the UK will continue to play our part in humanitarian, in education, in health, but we need the government of South Sudan to play its part as well to ensure that all the resources available to the country are used in a transparent and effective way. 2006 can be a year of peace and progress, as the UK will continue to play our part in humanitarian, in education, in health, but we need the government of South Sudan to play its part as well to ensure that all the resources available to the country.
The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Michael Makwelwet, is reviewing a document from the Commission of Trust, Reconciliation and Healing on enhancing judicial fairness and transparency before presenting it to the Council of Ministers for further deliberation in the Council of Ministers.
The selection exercise was conducted in accordance with the relevant legal framework and guiding principles of transparency, inclusivity, fairness, and merit. Following a public call for applications, 127 applications were received, out of which 47 were shortlisted. Those shortlisted were subjected to a rigorous assessment process, including interviews and evaluation using approved selection tools. After the completion of the interviews and deliberation, the selection panel submitted its recommendations to the Honorable Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs.
Now, South Sudan and United States have renewed their bilateral ties for mutual benefit of the two countries. This comes in a meeting between the Minister of Trade and Industry, Tongkwal Manyangjuk, and the U.S. Ambassador Michael J. Adler. Their discussion focused on addressing U.S. private investors across the country. Minister Tongkwal Manyangjuk acknowledges the United States' long-standing support to South Sudan, noting that the U.S. stood with the country during the liberation struggle and contributed significantly to the achievement of independence. Ambassador Michael J. Adler emphasized the need to create a conducive business environment for U.S. private investors, stressing that increased American investment could bring mutual benefits and support South Sudan's economic growth.
During a meeting with His Excellency Michael Adler, the U.S. Ambassador to the Republic of South Sudan. And in this meeting that we concluded, we touched on a lot of important things that are affecting South Sudan. And one of them, of course, is our deteriorating economic situation as a country. There's also issue of salaries that have not been paid on time that is also affecting our normal citizens. But what was important in all this is the stability of South Sudan in general. And when we talk about the stability, we cannot talk about the stability and not talk about the economic situation of a country. Where there is stability, automatically the economy will pick up. And when there is instability, the economy will also go down. And this is where the ministry comes in, because we deal with trade and ensuring that at least that is done. So well wishes, and one of them is the United States of America. We all know that the U.S. has contributed immensely to South Sudan's progress. During the crisis, especially Sudan time, they ensured that they supported us to get our independence. We also know that our population, very large population of lost voices in U.S. And that population now, as we speak, most of them will be leaders or are already leaders in South Sudan in private sector and also in public sector. We know most of them have also been giving back to their families in form of supporting them, establishing their businesses and helping communities. Something I'm sure of is that the leadership, starting from His Excellency General Salva Kiir Mayardit, who is our president, will want us to continue moving together with U.S. We want U.S. to continue giving us the support that they gave during the bad days and during our independence, and to continue giving us. So we'll do our part as a country, but we also want to tell those who are friends of South Sudan not to give up on us, but to continue to support us for stability and also for existence of South Sudan. So thank you.
Urgent action is needed to address the predatory obstruction directed against those trying to provide life-saving assistance to the people of South Sudan. By addressing this, an environment will be created that is more conducive for U.S. private trade and investment, which could greatly benefit the South.
The Minister of Energy and Dams, Agok Makur, is walking the talk of transforming the sector by inspecting the Azra power station to review operations, generation and distribution system as part of boosting electricity supply. We have the report.
Azra Power Station is considered one of the main sources of electricity supply in Juba City, operating under a hybrid generation system that combines diesel generators with a solar power system connected to the national electricity grid. Honorable Agok Makur, Minister of Energy and Dams, conducted an inspection visit to the station, marking his first visit since assuming office, with the aim of reviewing work progress and assessing the challenges facing the electricity distribution sector in line with the ministry's plans for the first phase of his mandate.
والشيء اللي لفت أنظاري هو إنه أيضا إزرا جروب قدر أيضا يعمل اللي هو البيج، عمل 2 بيج عشان ينقل به الكرود أويل للمنطقة عشان يقدر ينتج الكهرباء باستقرار. نحن محتاجين إنه الكهرباء التي يتم استقطاعها في المناطق من وقت لوقت يتم إيقافه، وهو يتفق معي إنه حيبذل مجهود إنه مسألة الاستقطاع في المناطق المختلفة في جوبا إن شاء الله حيكون في استقرار في الفترة الجاية في الكهرباء. وأيضا اتفقنا معهم إنهم يبذلوا مجهود في إنه المناطق التي لم يصلها الكهرباء في جوبا سوف يصل الكهرباء عما قريب.
The visit included a field tour of several company facilities, including health, safety and environmental awareness, the generator and control room, substation and outgoing feeders, energy storage systems, the solar power plant, as well as workshops and supporting facilities. During the visit, the minister directed the company to address power outages, prioritize electricity supply to vital institutions, and accelerate the expansion of electricity coverage across all areas of Juba, and also announced the upcoming inauguration of Rumbek Power Station.
إن شاء الله في الأيام القادمة حنزور منطقة نسيدو، وكذلك سوف نزور منطقة رومبيك لافتتاح المحطة بتاعت رومبيك في شهر 2. هذه ضمن الخطة القصيرة التي وضعتها في وزارة الكهرباء. أنا داير أطمن المواطن الجنوبي، نعم هناك تحديات وهناك صعوبات، هناك عدم قدرات لدفع رسوم الكهرباء، ولكن نطمنهم إنه رئيس الجمهورية لقد بدأ في تخفيض هذا الوضع، ونحن أيضا في وزارة الكهرباء بالتعاون مع إزرا جروب سوف نستمر في تخفيض الكهرباء في المرحلة الجاية.
For his part, Simon Ezra, director of Ezra Electricity Distribution Company, welcomed the minister, emphasizing the importance and positive implications of the visit. He praised the support of the country's senior leadership and highlighted the company's contributions to serving the surrounding local communities.
Very good opportunity. وزير لما نجينا زيارة زي ذاك بسجهنا، بخلينا نشتغل زيادة، بخلينا نفكر زيادة. Of course عندنا a bit challenges، لكن of course ما بنحله إلا لما نجي نقعد مع سيد الوزير. أنا I believe إنه الوزير اللي بيساعدنا في حاجات كثير، وإن شاء الله بنولع الباقي الجوبا ما فيه نور للقدام.
This visit comes as part of the Ministry of Energy and Dams efforts to enhance the stability of electricity supply, improve generation and distribution efficiency, and address challenges hindering service delivery, thereby supporting economic and social development and meeting citizens' aspirations for reliable and sustainable electricity.
The gender authorities have trained over 80 sign language interpreters to empower hearing impaired. We have the report.
Existing gaps between the community of the deaf and the sound-hearing persons include poor awareness of deaf culture and rights, insufficient early intervention for deaf children, and limited resources for family sign language training, leading to marginalization of the deaf in education, healthcare, and employment. An expert in sign language, Peter Kisanga Lokika, calls for collective collaboration among partners, supporting associations of persons with disability, and the government to guarantee the deaf are empowered.
It's one of the national languages that is in South Sudan, where persons with hearing impairment, they benefit from it, and it is their culture and their language that it should be put over the television, that any person who has a hearing impairment can access the information like any other person with.
A trainee in the program, Mandalina KG, appeals for public awareness agenda on the deaf culture, rights, and effective communication. Besides funding deaf-led sign language services, the best approach to support families and prevent language barrier from infantry.
Those sign language interpreters, when they are graduated, they will distribute it to the private sectors and sometimes even the hospital. So we need more people to be trained so that person with hearing impairment, they cannot get difficulties in the police station, private sectors, even the big one. That's cases happening like that.
The Director of Persons with Disabilities in the National Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, Emmanuel Lubari, says the ministry is working on implementing inclusive policies, training interpreters, and collaborating with the organizations for deaf to ensure equal access and participation.
These are mainly the frontline workers for GBV, some of them from special protection units, some of them from the health centers, and making sure that once they get the training and they go back, they will be able to communicate. Once there's something within the community, in particular, something affecting a person with hearing impairment, they will be able to now communicate to whoever is there.
By addressing these gaps, the Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare is promoting gender equality and social inclusion, empowering the community of the deaf to participate fully in South Sudan. Abate Simon Godo, SSBC News.
Ministers of Labour and of Public Service have assumed their respective roles amid renewed hopes for improving services. Labour Minister Anthony Lino Makana pledges to provide job opportunities for the youth. Minister of Public Service and Human Resources Development Ezekiel Lulgat reassured to work cooperatively with the staff to ensure human resource development and economic growth.
The mandate given to me is two. Girl, raise girl, employees for South Sudan, Muslimin. You go and fight so that they get their rights. They are mandate and Udlan and Ibrahim. Yes? Then German customer raise. Mandate nimrednin, Nas Bitana Ketir ma employed. Fetis deriga le shabab bitana algidor fisika beala bumongola guiding circuit kedemon ligo chance to shunu the employment. So this is my two mandates. So I came here to work with you, and I want you to work with me so that we can achieve this goal. I don't have any other interest other than these two things.
We will work together very closely with my leader here, the other secretary, Mrs. Baya, to guide me what I can do better. By the way, public service is the key in any government worldwide. Pension funds worldwide. This is the biggest and the largest investment anywhere in the world. You go to Gulf states, you go to Europe, you go to America. These are the biggest. They can even run the salary in this country.
I'm going out from this minister a happy person because I have done what I could, and my colleague will go and finish the rest. Public service and labor, they are the heart and the brain of this and backbone of this country. They are politicized, but this country, I would say also, we are dependent now, we are working because of you. We are still maintaining our system running. But we are very important people that work with the ministers, work with them, guide them very well.
A two-day stakeholder seminar on disaster risk management planning has officially commenced under the authority of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management in collaboration with key development partners to strengthen national and local capacities in disaster risk management and preparedness. The training marks a critical step towards strengthening South Sudan's disaster management architecture by equipping stakeholders with practical knowledge and tools to address existing gaps in disaster preparedness, response, resilience building by enhancing collaboration among institutions and improve technical understanding of disaster risk management frameworks.
The objective of this training of trainers is
not only to enhance your technical knowledge, but also to equip you as a national champion and multipliers of disaster risk management practice. This workshop is firmly anchored in our national disaster risk management policy, the draft disaster risk management bill, and our international and regional commitment, including the Sendai framework, as was mentioned earlier by Dr. Bernard, the Sendai framework for disaster risk reduction, and the early warning for all initiatives to shift from emergency response to risk-informed planning preparedness.
The implementation review meeting for the second quarter of the health sector transformation project has kicked off with participation of development partners from UNICEF and the World Bank. The Undersecretary of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Kennedy Ganiko, described the meeting as a platform to discuss areas where performance can be strengthened in the health sector in order to improve healthcare services and health system in the country.
This quarter review provides us with a space to reflect on areas where performance can be strengthened further. Today's discussion will also allow us to reflect on how safeguards are being addressed, including ensuring that services are delivered safely, respectively, and with accountability to the people of South Sudan. On behalf of the Minister, I want to encourage you to continue with the same spirit, with the collaboration and coordination. This collaboration has been critical to sustaining service delivery during a constrained period. Let us, 1, acknowledge the sacrifice made. 2, recognize the progress achieved. 3, learn from challenges encountered. 4, and recommit ourselves to delivering the best possible services with the resources available.
We took the opportunity of morning session to look at progress, achievement, and challenges of implementation of HSTP. Honorable Undersecretary, there is commendable progress and achievement. Also, there are challenges. There are challenges related to stock outs of medicines and malaria RDTs.
HSTP has been an ambitious program, but in that ambition, key to its achievement has been the leadership of the government. And those are the implementing partners, the NGOs, both national, international, and more importantly, we also have women-led organizations that are also taking lead on this initiative. We are waiting for some documentation for all of you. Once we receive the information or the documentation, we do the amendments, and hopefully we will try and finish them by the end.
In a move that signals deepening regional integration, the Commissioner General of the South Sudan Revenue Authority, William Anyon Kwal, says Tanzania and South Sudan are moving closer to formalizing customs cooperation, with a memorandum of understanding expected to be signed soon. SSBC's Emmanuel Patrick Laku reports.
In a move that signals deepening regional integration, the Commissioner General of the South Sudan Revenue Authority, William Anyon Kwal, says Tanzania and South Sudan are moving closer to formalizing customs cooperation, with a memorandum of understanding expected to be signed soon. The announcement followed a high-level bilateral meeting between the South Sudan Revenue Authority, SSRA, and the Tanzania Revenue Authority, TRA, a meeting that underscored the growing importance of regional corridors in shaping East Africa's trade future. At the center of discussions was the strategic role of the ports of Dar es Salaam and Tanga as key gateways for South Sudan-bound cargo. During the meeting, Kual announced that South Sudan will now route its imports through the two Tanzanian ports, a policy shift aimed at improving cargo security, reducing transit delays, and strengthening efficiency across borders.
We assure the public that South Sudan officially have to use the port of Dar es Salaam. Most of the goods that will be coming, descending to South Sudan, will come through this port and port of Tanga. Most of the areas that we would like to have cooperation on it, one of it is the system itself. We need to integrate our system, the South Sudan Authority system, to Tanzania Revenue Authority. Tanzania is a second home of South Sudanese. We are now being given a place, a land, where we will be able, our customer will be able to clear their goods in both ports, in the Port Dar es Salaam and in Tanga.
For Tanzania, the commitment is equally clear. The Commissioner General of the Tanzania Revenue Authority, Yusuf Juma Mwenda, reaffirmed TRA's readiness to support the safe and efficient transit of South Sudan cargo, confirming that an MOU to guide customs cooperation will be signed in the coming period. Beyond policy declarations, the talks focused on practical integration, particularly the implementation of a single customs territory.
There are requests on using our Dar es Salaam ports and Tanga ports to route their goods to South Sudan. We have welcomed these requests and we are committed to facilitate its implementation. In order to facilitate that, we have agreed we will integrate our systems to fast-track the trade. But more important, we will dedicate specific lands for their goods to facilitate and strengthen the trade between our two countries.
Officials also reviewed the operations of the SSRA Coordination Office at the port of Dar es Salaam, established in 2022 and began operations since September 2023. At the port of Dar es Salaam, South Sudan's revenue story is not about collecting money, but ensuring goods reach the border where revenue is due. Sometimes, the strongest defense of a nation's economy begins far from home. Reporting for SSBC, I'm Emmanuel Patrick, the Democratic Republic of...
The new Executive Director of Public Procurement and Disposal of Assets Authority, Ajang Deng Daniel, has vowed to uphold the authority's founding principles by promoting accountability and transparency as he assumes role, replacing Deng Akwekak, who is now the Deputy Governor of Upper Nile State. Through his visual participation, the acting chairperson of the Board of Directors, Ayi Bolakol, has expressed his gratitude to the former Executive Director of Procurement Authority, Deng Akwekak, for handing over the office, officially has witnessed by his deputy, Isaac Awo, and authorities staff, marking the commencement of Ajang's responsibilities on Thursday. The Public Procurement and Disposal of Assets Authority was established to oversee the purchase of assets in government institutions with the aims of maintaining accountability and transparency in the country. In Bor County of Jonglei State, the Commissioner Samuel Atanypech has called for dialogue, unity and peaceful cooperation among the head chiefs and communities of Mach, Ayel, Byong and Nyara following their joint acceptance of the establishment of Abi Payam. Speaking to SSBC, Commissioner Samuel Atanypech stated that the chiefs of the three communities have come together in unity for the first time to work as one administrative entity under Abi Payam.
the two warring communities that have been disarray for too long has come together. We have met today under the new Fayam of Abi Fayam. That Abi Fayam comprised of Byong, Manyayel and Nyara. And the three chiefs come together with the letter of acceptance that they have accepted the new Fayam. And this is the first time for them to come together like this. The chief of Byong, the chief of May, and the chief of Nyara unanimously agree that they have accepted the new Fayam. They are requesting the meetings, and they are requesting the commissioner to go and visit them, following by the governor to go and inaugurate the new Fayam. This is the initiative of peace. These people have not been together since then, and they are now.
Now, the South Sudan Football Federation, SSFF, proudly presented international badges to 11 referees during a ceremony at Juba Palace Hotel. This momentous event recognized seven male and 4 female officials who will represent South Sudan from 2025 to 2027. Key dignitaries including South Sudan Football Federation President Francis Amin and Second Vice President Deng Abdurrahman attended to celebrate these outstanding individuals. Amin acknowledges the significant role of FIFA and CAF in enhancing the refereeing system in South Sudan, emphasizing the importance of this collaboration, which have led to South Sudanese referees being featured in major international tournaments. Their performances have brought together local and international sport lovers.
كان جيت في البيت بتلقانا مفتوح، كان جيت في المكتب برضه في بلوك برضه بنستقبل الناس مفتوح، هنا مفتوحين، كان داير نزار في محل الشاي، ناديني انا بجي محل الشاي، انا جاهز. برضه نفس الحاجه لنائب الرئيس، بابه مفتوح، تمشي في مكتب هناك تاك بتخش. اي محل داير تلقوه تليفونه مفتوح. وهكذا الاثنين ده عندكم، دول قاعدين في المعيدين ذاته، في ميدان ملك ده قاعدين، كان تيوم ولا كان مجاهد قاعدين. كله جاهزين للخدمة للرياضة والاستقبال كل شكاوي لكل حاجات الموجودة. أنا قلت له يا جماعة كل زول بيجي بوسنين وبابي يكون مفتوح، أقول لكم حاجة يا أخي باب ذاته فاضي، عديل ما في باب ذاته. باب ذاته ما في، يجي يخش بس توش.
إنكم معنا رغم إنه ممكن يكون جا نفرين وزول بحاول بيطور نفسه يعني أكثر من ديل، ممكن أستاذ بدي 25% و 75% ده حقك. يعني بدل قبل ممكن في زول ذكر قبل على أساس إنه إحنا ممكن نجتهد نوديك. لكن في النص بتلقى نفسك انك جاك شد عضلي معناته انت ما قاعد تتمرن او انت لاعب خارب الميدان زي ما قال اخونا تيو. فاي حاجه انتم شايفينه نقدر نساعدكم فوقه، ونحن مكاتبنا مفتوح اي وقت ما انت دايرنا، في تليفونات، في مكتب موجود.
That's all what we have for you this hour. From me, Abraham Ken, and the whole team here, we thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.